Hi, everybody. I'm Ingrid. So, I started Design Matters 4 years ago, together with my friend Michael. And ever since, we've grown a bit every year. So, of course, I'm very, very excited to be here today. I'm very happy to see so many people. And I really, really hope you have a great conference. So, before it all begins, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the thoughts we had behind the 3 themes for Design Matters this year. Yes, 2018, what a year. It's actually been a rather special year, especially for tech. It's changed a lot. It's been a year, I think, where a new attitude towards tech has been arisen. Up until now, we've seen the products of Silicon Valley and other tech companies primarily as good, bringing new inventions, bringing opportunities for jobs, for revenue, powerful disruptions, even freedom has been said. But this year, a new truth has come, where information technology is not always good. And it's not like we haven't seen this before. We've actually seen it many times. Let's go way back, over 100 years, to 1901, where they invented the assembly lines at the Ford factories. When the assembly lines got invented, they became a huge success. They were lowering the production times drastically, and they were creating a huge boost for productivity. So, of course, it was celebrated as an amazing technology. But 60 years later, which is kind of a long time, but in the 1960s, the workers of the factories starting to protest and strike against this kind of work. They said, the technology is no longer good for us. We experience pain and injuries. So it's, of course, not the first time that we get really excited and happy about a new technology, and then after a while, after the happy years, we start criticizing it. And in my opinion, 2018 has been one of those years where this has really hit information technology, the internet, and social media. A little while back, we learned that news are not always true. They can be fake and made up. As you can see on those 5 examples of fake news from the election months, this is something that even might have played a role in the election of Trump. Zooming over to this year, in the spring, we had another Facebook scandal. More than 87 million users got their data collected and used by a private company called Cambridge Analytica. This showed that our data is nowhere safe from commercial interest when we are on social media. So for a while this spring, I guess we all kind of felt like this a little bit. And we went back and we deleted our accounts and our apps for Facebook. Yeah. Next thing, addiction to screens. Addiction to screens is a new thing that people have been talking about for the last year as well. It's almost as dangerous an addiction as addiction to cigarettes or alcohol or sugar. In Denmark, we even have this new TV show. It's called The Family as Screen Junkies, where you get a whole family to get on the screen almost 24/7, become fully addicted, and then a doctor steps in, and she helps this family to become unaddicted again. So this is reality TV, where we follow a family break off their bad habit. Like we've seen this so many other times in other reality shows. And addiction, that's not only to screens. Of course, as we know, it's also to social media. And social media it's bad for you, right? Or is it? Articles like this one that you look at here is from the British newspaper, The Independent, is telling us that if you're too much on social media, you become sad and you get low self-esteem. And this is not a rare piece. I personally read something like this almost every week in my newspaper on a tech blog. So, with a year of tech scandals and a growing notion of the bad sides of tech, we find ourselves in a need for change. We do need to change technology for the better. And we need to think about our role in this as designers. What is the role of a designer in this need for change? What we have to do is first look at ourselves and our work. So here at Design Matters, we are designers, and we're also conference designers. And we spend a lot of time looking for speakers for the next conference. So when we started in 2015, we found out that 92% of our speakers were male. We were quite surprised about that number, so we tried to bring it down for the next year, and we hit a 68% of the speakers being male. So we sat down, made a very conscious, very strict, non-negotiable rule that we wanted a 50-50 gender balance on the stage among the speakers. And in 2017 and 18, we made it. Looking at this gender issue actually opened up our eyes to an imbalance in our work that we needed to fix. And how we as conference designers have a huge responsibility to all you female designers out there to be represented on stage. So we believe that everyone can make a change, no matter what they work in and what role and seniority. We believe you could be a conscious designer and work to affect positive change, no matter what you do. And with that, we had our theme together, Design for Change. We are asking you designers how to make better products that affect people's lives positively and not the opposite. Okay, that was sad. So that was 2018 in a sad way for tech. But then, unfortunately, a lot of good stuff happened too. A lot of talk about a real breakthrough of augmented reality. Apps has come out, not only from Amazon and IKEA and other big ones, but also from numerous smaller companies. I'd say all these little AR apps are very explorative, very curious, very creative. All of them adding a digital layer on top of the physical world, the real world. For many years, we've seen these experiments from universities. But the new thing is that this year, companies all over the world have starting to create apps and experiments within this field. It really does seem like that AR in 2018 is on the verge of a real breakthrough. Very exciting. And let's just take a look at the different technologies in this area. VR came first. We had it on the agenda for 2016 here, so it's a little while back already. You might want to call VR fully immersive because it shuts you off from the real world completely, and it tricks your mind into thinking you're somewhere else in this completely virtual world. And now we see augmented reality becoming big. In AR, we overlay digital information on real-world elements. It becomes a mix of the real and the virtual. And the newest term is mixed realities. Mixed reality is like VR, fully immersive, but with like AR, you combine the physical world with the virtual world. It's a little bit more complex. It allows you to see the world around you while you interact with physical and virtual objects at the same time. You're both in the real world, but you're also in a virtual, digital world. It's a mix of the real and the imaginary. So these are some truly, truly exciting new technologies that I personally would love to work with as a designer very soon. It's exciting because it's all about creating a truly immersive experience. So all this immersion stuff, what is it? How would we describe immersion? It's stepping into this special world, right? A world that surrounds you. It feels real. It's digital or physical, doesn't matter. You forget anything else around you, and you get totally absorbed into the world. You're just there. So to learn how to create a truly immersive world, where else to look than games? What is it that games do that makes us feel like we're truly inside this not very realistic world? How much does it really take to make us immerse into it? And how come we as users or gamers become so immersed and we end up relating and feeling so much in this virtual world? To answer this, we have some amazing designers from game companies brought in this year to talk about this. But let's not forget a phone. Let's never forget the phone. We can't. It is possible to feel immersion, even on a small screen. With video and animations, the tiniest screen can actually suck you in its universe. So our second theme is called Immersive Worlds and Mixed Realities. Okay. So, what else is new? Yeah, I feel like the music. Okay, no, the music. What else is new in 2018? I don't know, but I know what's getting old. What's getting old? What's getting old is that a lot of apps, I don't know if you noticed, look alike almost. It's like every designer is applying the same guidelines, the same style guide, super functional, user-friendly style to the apps. For many years, the minimalist design trend has made all the websites and apps look very clean, uncluttered, simple, lots of white space, few elements, not much color, very crisp, polished looks. Websites have followed a simple formula with the same style, and lots of times, even the same layout. Everyone can create this design because it's in a template, and it looks like everything else out there. So, luckily, this trend is passing, and we're more than ready for the next thing to hit us, brutalism. What is brutalism? It started as an architectural movement in the 50s, and it used raw concrete to build rather massive-looking buildings. They are the opposite of light and optimistic, and sometimes you can say they're even brutal to the eye. With web brutalism, it might look something like this. You could say that brutalist web design is somewhat ugly, it's disturbing, it's annoying, uncomfortable, lots of blinking element, and really strong colors. It's also crowded and distorted, low quality, sometimes even looking a bit amateurish. It's retro and celebrates playfulness and crazy ideas, but it also gives each piece a highly unique look. I think web brutalism is somewhat ugly, but the ugly ends up becoming beautiful. So why is this trend, web brutalism, interesting? It's because right now digital design is breaking away from the streamlined and polished design trend that's been following us, we've been following for so many years. Ugliness has now become a visual design trend, and we think this gives us a huge freedom as designers, a freedom to break the rules, to break away from the guidelines. For years, we've been following rules, usability advice, SEO advice, trends, guidelines. It's been creating beautiful work, but it's also made everything look the same. So, the last theme for Design Matters this year is be a design rebel. We need to wake up and add some protest to our design. And I dare you all to leave Design Matters as true rebels. I shouldn't have done the hand, no. That's it. With this, I'm off. Thank you so much, and enjoy the day.